Welcome to 6th grade health. This is lesson 161, so it should be our last class for today. We are reviewing chapters 5 and 6 today. And so I know I said at the end of last video that we would be going right into chapter 7. I looked at the wrong thing. So we have chapters 5 and 6, then there's a test tomorrow over those chapters, okay? And a health worksheet 9 that I'm going to have you do today, all right? So I'm going to just start asking questions. I'm going to give you a definition. I want you to say what word it is, okay? The body's ability to resist or protect itself against a particular disease is immunity. All right, very good. Very small creatures that may cause disease. Microorganisms, very good. Bacteria and viruses that cause diseases, germs. Pathogens, absolutely, all right. The skin's outer layer made of tough, flattened cells which provide a strong defense against infection and disease. Your strong outer layer, your skin's outer layer. Epidermis, all right. A thick fluid produced by the mucous membrane traps microorganisms. Mucus, okay? The thick fluid that's produced by the mucous membrane is mucus, okay? Hair-like projections that line the mucous membrane. What are those hair-like projections? Cilia. A protein that speeds up certain chemical reactions is called an enzyme. A liquid surrounding all the cells in your body helps keep the cells clean and balanced with liquid. Is what? Tissue fluid. Okay? Small, thin-walled tubes that carry lymph. The small, thin-walled tubes that carry lymph. Lymph capillaries. All right, lymph capillaries. All right. Special proteins produced by certain white blood cells that help fight against pathogens are called antibodies. What is the name for immunizations? Vaccines. The widespread occurrence of a particular disease is called epidemic, or in this case, we've called it a pandemic. All right. An inflammation of the sebaceous glands that lie just below the surface of the skin. You usually start getting this in your teen years. Acne. All right, glands located in the dermis, the middle layer of skin, that produce sebum or oil glands. Sebaceous glands, good job. A doctor who specializes in skincare is called what? Dermatologist. All right. On the diagram of your lymphatic system, what are the ones that are around the nose, like right here? What are those ones? Or behind it, but they're right there. The adenoids, okay? What about the ones that are in, like, at the back of your throat? Tonsils, okay? So some people have had their tonsils removed because they got inflamed. Okay, what about the one that's behind your breastbone that shrinks after you get to a certain age? Your thymus, okay? What is the one that's kind of an ear-shaped one about the middle of you? It's the spleen. And then the one that is in the, hold on. I lost what body part it's in. Hold on. Sorry about that. It's in the small intestine. Okay. Which one is in the small intestine? You may have already guessed this. Peyer's patches, okay? Peyer's patches is in the small intestine. And, all right, so that's the diagram. So make sure that you study that diagram for the test. All right, so I'm going to give you, for the next one, I'll give you the definition for some, and some of them I'll give you the word, okay? The largest organ in your body, I'm sorry. The skin, all right, good job. Special kind of skin cells which line your mouth, nose, and throat are called what? Mucous membrane, all right? What is a strong acid in your stomach that destroys most of the harmful bacteria which enters your body with the food that you eat? What kind of acid? Hydrochloric acid, very good. What is lysozyme? What is lysozyme? It's an enzyme found in tears and sweat that kills bacteria by dissolving the cell walls. What are the transportation tubes for lymph? Similar to blood vessels. Lymph vessels, okay, very good. What are lymph nodes? What are lymph nodes? In large bunches of lymphatic tissue located at various points along the lymph vessels in which the lymph is cleansed of debris and microbes. All right, what are lymphocytes? What are lymphocytes? Large numbers of white blood cells found within each lymph node, okay? An accumulation of lymph nodes in your throat to protect that entrance into your body from being invaded by pathogens is called? That's your tonsils, okay? So we did look at those before, but that's what those are. An accumulation of lymph nodes in the throat to protect. All right, nope, that's not where those are. Oh, well, they are back there too. So they're the back of the throat, but they're up a little bit. So we talked about those ones. They are your adenoids, okay? The group of lymph nodes in your small intestine that monitor your digestive tract for pathogens? Peyer's patches, good job. The largest lymphatic organ cleanses the blood that passes through it is the spleen. And then the gland located behind the breastbone and between the lungs from birth into adulthood, it prepares disease-fighting lymphocytes. Thymus, okay? All right. What is the main purpose of the immune system? To build up a resistance to diseases. What are the two most common types of microbes? Viruses and bacteria. And which body system contains the skin, hair, nails, sebaceous glands, and sweat glands? What's that called? It's your integumentary system. That's your skin, your integumentary system. All right. Okay. What is the upper part of your brain? It controls thoughts, memory, and learned behavior. The upper part of your brain? Your cerebrum, okay? Cerebrum, good job. The lower back part of your brain controls balance and coordinates skeletal, which are voluntary muscle activity. Which is that, the lower part. Cerebellum, okay? A long bundle of nerve fibers that extends from the brain stem and is protected by the spinal column. What is that called? The spinal cord, good. Nerve cells, bundles of fiber that carry messages from one part of the body to another are called what? I kind of give you the answer, it's nerves, okay? Nerves that branch off the spinal cord are called what? Spinal nerves, okay? The part of the brain connected to the spinal cord controls involuntary muscles and activities of the body. the brain stem, okay? So it stems off of the brain into the spinal cord, okay, or connects to the spinal cord. What consists of your brain and spinal cord and acts as your body's computer, controlling the functions of each of the body's systems? So it consists of your brain and spinal cord. It's like a computer. Is your central nervous system. What is made up of the nerves that control the involuntary actions of your body and all the other nerves that branch out into the body? Serves as the messenger system, carries information from the brain to each part of the body. Okay, so the nerves in the rest of your body are called peripheral nervous system. Very good. A soft, spongy organ that weighs between 2 and 3 pounds makes it possible to move, think, and learn. Your brain, okay? What is the right hemisphere of your brain? Okay, that one might be a little tougher. The half of your cerebrum that communicates with the left side of your body. Okay, what about the left hemisphere? This might be a little easier as you've heard the first definition. The half of the cerebrum that communicates with the right side of your body. All right, what are reflex actions? What are reflex actions? Unconscious actions such as jerking your hand away when you touch something hot. And what are cranial nerves? What are your cranial nerves? 12 pairs of nerves which branch directly from your brainstem. All right. What are fibers that inform your body of the things in its environment, things you feel, see, hear, smell, taste, etc.? Fibers? Sensory nerve fibers, okay? Sensory nerve fibers. And then the fibers that carry messages from the brain and spinal cord to the muscles are called what? Motor nerve fibers, okay? Motor nerve goes to the muscles. Sensory has to do with the senses, right? That makes sense. Nerve endings that send messages to your brain whenever your skin comes into contact with something outside your body is called sensory receptors. Sends messages from your nose to your brain identifies the odor. What are those called? Olfactory receptors, okay? Sensory receptors on the surface of your tongue are called what? Taste buds, good. Light-sensitive cells that detect shape and movement in dim light, distinguishing different shades of black, gray, and white. Okay, light-sensitive cells that detect shape and movement in dim light are the rods. These are in your eyes, okay, guys? Light-sensitive cells that distinguish color and sharp detail when there is sufficient light. Those are the cones, okay? So the cones have the color, and the rods detect shape and movement. Hollow spaces in the skull bone protect the eyes. Eye sockets. What help keep perspiration from running down into your eyes? Your eyebrows, okay? Screens out tiny bits of dust. Your eyelashes. Close to shut out too great amount of light, prevent objects from getting into your eyes. Eyelids, okay? What are tears? What are tears? Well, they moisten the underside of your eyelids, keep the surface of your eyeball clean and moist. They destroy bacteria and help prevent eye infection. So they do a lot. Ophthalmologist, what is that? A medical doctor who specializes in eye disease. And an optometrist is what? Person specifically trained to examine eyes and to prescribe corrective lenses for defective vision, okay? All right, so we're gonna be looking, I'm gonna ask some questions about your ear. And a little more about your eye. So the part of the ear that can be seen, catches waves of sound, is called what? The outer ear, okay? The small tube that carries sound waves from the outer ear to the eardrum is called what? Auditory canal, very good. A thin membrane of skin that separates the outer ear from the middle ear is called what? Eardrum, excellent. The tube that connects the middle ear to the back of the pharynx is called what? Eustachian tube. The part of the ear, including the hammer, anvil, and stirrup, amplifies and transmits sounds to the inner ear. What is that called? Your middle ear, okay? What is the tiny middle ear bone that touches the eardrum? The tiny middle ear bone that touches the eardrum is the hammer, okay? The tiny middle ear bone between the hammer and the stirrup is the anvil, okay? And then the tiny middle ear bone that strengthens vibrations from the anvil as it knocks on the oval window of the inner ear. It's the stirrup, okay? It's the third one. The part of the ear that is completely filled with liquid converts vibrations to nerve impulses. The inner ear. What is the fluid-filled part of the inner ear that is shaped like a snail shell, contains the auditory nerve endings? Okay, which one's shaped like a snail? The cochlea. The special nerve of hearing that is first stimulated by vibrations of the liquid in the cochlea and then carries messages to the brain. Your auditory nerve, okay? The liquid-filled structures in the inner ear that help maintain balance in the body. Semicircular canals. What is the sclera? The sclera. The tough outer layer that covers all of the eyeball except the iris and the pupil. What is the transparent covering of the iris and pupil through which light enters the eye? The cornea, very good. A thin membrane that lines the eyelids and covers the front part of the eyeball is what? Conjunctiva. Conjunctiva, what is the iris? What's the iris? The colored part of your eye, okay? It causes pupil to become larger or smaller according to the amount of light. What is the dark opening in the center of the iris through which light passes? Your pupil, okay. What is a lens? What is a lens? The part of the eye that causes light rays which pass through it to bend and focus on the retina. What is the retina? The thin layer of the eye where images are formed. And then a large bundle of nerve fibers at the back of the eyeball carries messages from the rods and cones to the sight center in the brain. What is that? Carries messages, so it's the optic nerve. Very good. All right. How should you protect your sense of hearing? Get a little bit of some thought questions. Okay, your sense of hearing: shouldn't clean your ears with anything sharp. Blow gently out your nose when you swim underwater. Don't blow your nose too hard. Avoid continual loud noises. If you know you're going to hear a loud noise, open your mouth and cover your ears. See a doctor if you have an earache, okay? And then how should you protect your sense of sight? Sense of sight. Wear sunglasses with ultraviolet filters. Work in a well-lighted area. Have regular eye exams. Carry sharp pointed objects with their points down, and never rub your eyes. All right. So make sure that you study chapters 5 and 6 for this test. And you want to make sure that going through the chapter checkup will help. Also, any of those worksheets, check or do Health Worksheet 9. Any of the worksheets that we've had for chapters 5 and 6, study those, especially your pictures of diagrams of different parts of the body and that sort of thing. So study well and do well on your test tomorrow, and we'll see you in the next lesson.